Hi, I'm Sweta Rai. I grew up in a very tiny little town in India. It was called Kaimur, which was very far away from the city life. And like every other Indian kid, I was supposed to be a software engineer and or maybe a doctor. I kind of struggled within the family first to break the barriers and always wanted to do something related to arts. I just didn't know what it would be like. Ever since then, worked in some of the other part of the media, from newscaster to television producer to documentaries, and then moved to Hollywood 10 years back. After making almost like 20, 25 films, I started my production company, which is called Indo Films. So far, we have done projects which combines both the Asian Indian cinema with Hollywood. From my town, nobody was a director, producer, or anything related to films. So it was a big thing for somebody to even dream of. If you are choosing arts as your major, it means that you might not be good in studies or something. So it has always been the case. It has improved over the years. I think in 2014, when I moved to the States and in Hollywood, it was changing. We saw Priyanka Chopra as a lead in Quantico, and the things were changing. Mindy Kaling was already coming with a lot of projects, and her work was out there. So we were seeing a lot of these familiar faces. Were in Kumail Nanjiani. He's one of the superheroes, and it's good to see that the mindset is changing. It still is a long way to go. So I think it has to start from the story itself, and once we have a story which is defined the characters which represent all the aspects of the society, then only we can move ahead. And movies are the mirror to the society. So I think movies in general play a huge role in shaping the future generation. So in the Holly films, we have made a documentary which is about the skin complexion biases, colorism, which is big thing in Asia and Nigeria and a lot of the parts of the world in its own way. A lot of women, when they'll watch this movie, they should be able to relate to it. They will see themselves in those characters. And I want them to learn from these stories and see that if these characters can do it, which is you, and it's representative of you and your journey. And then we'll show different aspects like what we struggled when we, moved to this different part of the world. There is a dating show that I wrote, and I get mixed responses when people read the story, and they're like, "Oh, sometimes I'll hear, oh, it has to be more Indian. I'm not seeing the Indian element to it." And I was like, "That's the whole point, because how can a story based in Los Angeles be more Indian?" And people are like, "Where are the elephants? And where is like all the Chennai, and then trying to believe that we go through similar journey as well, and more to it, because being an immigrant, our narrative changes, our story changes, because now we are dealing with several other factors, starting it from home and telling these stories to the world, especially to the remotest part of the world. And I think that's what we are trying to do with Indo Films.